Hi, this is the Fighting Chaplain from BAM Incorporated, watching a segment of someone speaking about the fight and what they thought of it. I picked Mr. Michael Knowles because he's one of these good devout Catholics, although even only God is good, you know. And me being a former Catholic myself, anything I share, I like to keep it clean, whether it's comedy or whether it's the view on this great fiasco of a fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And now all this buzz going on. I mean, my heart, it was heart wrenching to watch the fight, and see Mike Tyson not being able to come out with the ferocity of that old lion that he is. I believe he could have done a lot more than he did. I don't know what he was really dealing with, whether he really had a problem with his knee or his legs were completely gone or what have you. Please leave what you think about the fight. Now, what's the buzz that's going on is that it was scripted. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, okay? And so while we take a listen to uh, Mike Knowles' reaction to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, I believe he was biting his glove. He might have just been saying to himself, "Oh, I want to hit him. Please let me hit him. I want to hit him. Please let me knock him out of his boxing shoes. Let me knock him out of this ring. Please, I know I could do it. Please, just let me do it." It's like he was almost holding back because maybe it was indeed scripted. Who knows? Maybe it was just a good payday for both of them. Jake Paul walking away with 40 mil, and Mike, taking the 40-20 split, and both of them laughing all the way to the bank. So let's take a listen and see what Mike Knowles has to say about it.
I have to get to the political issue that is not really all that political that has been weighing on my mind all weekend, and that is the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I'm not the biggest boxing fan. I like boxing, but I don't watch every big fight. I had to watch this fight. Everyone tuned in. This was a massive, tens of millions of people watching. What was it, like 60 million viewers or something like that watching this fight?
Yep.
Mike Tyson, 58 years old. Jake Paul, 27 years old. Before I get into it, I have to ask, for those of you who watched, which is probably many, if not most of you in the audience, do you think the fight was fixed? I bet most people are going to say yes.
Yes.
But then I'm going to ask a
I'm
question that's going to be more
starting to get doubts
controversial.
about it.
How was it fixed? I walked in today. I saw Mr. Davies and Professor Jacob. I said, all right, Tyson-Paul fight, was it fixed? Both said yes, obviously, absolutely. I said, okay, how was it fixed? And Mr. Davies goes, Jake Paul really held back. He didn't lay out Tyson. And producer Professor Jacob says, what are you talking about? Tyson was the one who held back. He could have knocked that guy out. He's Mike Tyson. He could have knocked Jake Paul out easy. And then they start arguing. Like, are you kidding me? Are you crazy? So what was the outcome of the fight? For those who didn't watch, it was a decision. It was a unanimous decision that Jake Paul won. But nobody got knocked out. There wasn't all that much that happened during the fight. It was, some would say, the perfect outcome. It was the perfect outcome in that had Jake Paul got knocked out, the audience would have loved it, but Jake Paul's boxing career would have been over. I don't care that it's Mike Tyson. If a 27-year-old gets actually knocked out, concussed by a 58-year-old dude, that guy is not a serious boxer. Flip side, if Jake Paul, a 27-year-old, had knocked out Mike Tyson at 58, Jake Paul's boxing career also would have been over, and the audience would have absolutely hated it, and it would have caused all sorts of problems for professional boxing. The way had Mike Tyson won by decision, Jake Paul's boxing career also probably would have been over. It's just you can't lose to a 58-year-old. I don't care if it's Mike Tyson. I don't care if the guy like eats his opponent's ears. The guy's 58. So this was in a way the perfect outcome. Jake Paul walks away with $40 million and he gets to say, I beat Tyson in an official fight. Tyson walks away with $20 million. Tyson, who's famously faced financial problems, he made $300 million over the course of his boxing career, and he blew all of it, and he ended up in massive debt, and he's tried to work his way out of it. The guy almost died back in the spring, had to get a massive blood transfusion. Things are looking rough for Mike Tyson. Now he gets to walk away with $20 million, and if he bet against himself on the fight, he might have made another $50 million. We don't know what he made. In a way, it's all kind of perfect. And Tyson tweeted out after this. He said, sometimes you lose, but you really win. And it was really great. After the fight, Jake Paul comes out and he just said, like, give it up for Mike. He's the greatest. I've idolized him my whole life. A lot of people concluded that what happened here was Jake Paul saw that his idol, Mike Tyson, was in financial straits and figured out a way to make him $20 million and give him a good retirement, help take care of his family.
Possible scenario.
And to make $40 million for himself and to make it a kind of basically a tribute to Mike Tyson, albeit technically with a loss. This was the first sanctioned fight for Mike Tyson since 2005. Okay, it's basically the perfect narrative for everyone. It also explains Mike Tyson's rant on legacy. Remember, we played it on the show last week. Mike Tyson was talking to that little girl, and she goes, "Hi there, Mr. Tyson. What do you think your legacy is going to be?" And Tyson's there as before the fight. What you talk about legacy? Well, who cares about what legacy is?
Wow, good
Legacy. That's the word that people made up for your ego. I don't care about legacy. Your legacy, you die. You die, and then people talk about your legacy after you're dead. Who cares? And he starts using naughty language and everything. And I thought, this is great. This is really a funny bit. Go to goodranchers.com, use code Knowles. Thanksgiving, it's one of my favorite holidays. But let me tell you, I hate fighting through crowded grocery stores filled with mystery meat from who knows where, probably processed with all sorts of chemicals. That's why I trust Good Ranchers. You should too. Good Ranchers delivers 100% American meat right to your door. No antibiotics, no hormones, definitely no seed oils, just pure steakhouse quality cuts from American farmers who share your values. The quality is absolutely off the chain. The other night, Elisa made some soup. It's like a beef kind of stock with meatballs, whatever. And I was eating. I said, this is especially good. She does meatball soups a lot.
You're killing me
this
now.
is especially good right now. What is it? What's the deal?
My brother,
And she said,
Michael.
"Oh well, I used the beef patties from Good Ranchers. I had run out of like meatball beef, so I just used the beef patties." And the difference was so noticeable. You could notice it in soup. Okay, that's how good this beef is. Go to goodranchers.com. Use code Knowles, KNWLES, to claim your free Thanksgiving ham. Do not wait. Just like the supply of conservative voters in California, these hams won't last forever. Goodranchers.com. American meat delivered. Because he was obviously thinking, all right, I'm going to lose to Jake Paul. I don't know if it was fixed, in the sense that I don't know if they agreed Tyson was not going to do that uppercut or whatever. I don't know if it was fixed. I don't know in which way it was fixed. In a way, though, it was sort of fixed by nature. A 58-year-old versus a 27-year-old, it's just going to be a different kind of fight. It was just kind of fake. It all felt kind of fake. And it was enjoyable, and I'm glad Mike Tyson gets $20 million. And I watched. I don't mind watching that. I watched it. But this does have another political tie-in, which is this is why the UFC is so big right now. This is why President Trump rolls up with a posse with Elon and Mike Johnson and Vivek and Tulsi. This is why they roll up at the UFC, and the UFC is where the energy is because the UFC doesn't feel fake. Professional boxing has been fake since On the Waterfront. Not all the time. There are real fights that happen. I don't think Evander Holyfield agreed to have part of his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson. But this goes all the way back to another kind of congested sounding boxer, Marlon Brando, and On the Waterfront says, "Yours, my brother, Charlie. It's sort of looked out for me. This is not your night, kid. Not your night." You know, the fix has been in boxing for a while. Whereas with UFC, it does feel very real. And so it is no surprise that President Trump shows up. His favorite sport, the one he keeps showing up to, is the one that's real. The way I think about it, it's like the Democrat establishment is professional boxing. At this point, the Democrat establishment is like the WWE, all right? It's all scripted. Whereas with Trump, he's kind of playing off the cuff. It's extemporaneous. It's real. It's live. It's much more exciting. If you want some nostalgia for the good old days, for the way politics used to be, okay, you vote for your Joe Bidens, you go vote for even your Kamala Harris's, whatever. But if you want to know where the excitement is, where the authenticity is, where the life is right now, you're going to be with Trump. One last point I'll make on the Tyson-Jake Paul fight. I don't care if it was fixed by nature or if whatever it was. I do like, the reason I liked 90% of Mike Tyson's point on, forget about legacy, is there is a parallel to Trump, even with what Tyson was doing, which is this guy is not afraid to lose. He doesn't want to lose, I think. He doesn't go out there with the intent to lose, but he's not afraid. He's not so precious about his legacy that he's going to avoid a fight. He is the man in the ring. He is the man in the arena. That is really beautiful. Trump is one of the biggest winners of the last century. He's a winner. That guy wins. But he's also one of the biggest losers. And it doesn't matter. You don't really remember the losses. You remember the wins. His vodka didn't work. His airline didn't work. His this didn't
Michael,
work. He went bankrupt. Who cares?
stay
He was not
on
able to be
focused
president after
on what we should
2020.
be talking about.
Who cares? He's just the guy
Reaction.
is just indefatigable.
Your
He
reaction
doesn't
to
he
the
doesn't
fight.
worry about embarrassing himself through loss. He's so dead set on winning. He's willing to risk losing. And that's how I feel about Tyson. Assuming the fight wasn't completely fixed for Tyson to take a dive or something like that. I don't think that's exactly what it was. I don't, who knows? People are all sort of speculating. But regardless, Tyson gets in there at 58 years old. There is something beautiful about that. Saying, yeah, I haven't been in my top form in 20 years, it's more than 20 years, but I don't care. I'm going to go there and fight. I'm not precious about that last image people see of me. I'm going to go down swinging. As long as there's life in me, I'm going to be swinging. And it gives people a chance to see the great Mike Tyson fight again. There's a very similar parallel right there. However, I think the bigger parallel
Back to politics, please.
is actually the opposite. Is that boxing, the old sort of fixed scripted sports? All right, that's how politics used to be. It's the uniparty. That's the Democrats and the squish Republicans, and they all play by the old rules. Trump is inventing the new rules. That was a great clip. Now, hey, hold up. Whoa, hey, stop it. Hey, don't go anywhere. Come on. What are you doing? Get out of here.
No. All right. That's it. That's all I'm going to show of that clip of Michael Knowles reacts to the Mike Tyson fight. I'm sorry he ended up going with a comparison to what happened in the election and all this political nonsense. It's just another circus. I'm sorry. It's just another rigged fight. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. This is BAM Incorporated. Yours truly, the Fightin Chaplain, signing off. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. God bless.